Hi, thanks for checking out our channel. Hopefully this video will be some good information for you if you're in the market for a new unit, not sure what to buy, that kind of thing. But what this video is going to be about is a kind of a review video of this unit. We bought this unit for ourselves to use here. We bought it about 2 years ago, and been real happy with it. We put it around about a half acre of about a 4-wire system. We use it to protect chickens on the outside of a big permanent 6-foot high regular fence, and we have about a 4 or 5 double layer fence around there, and we've had it for about 2 years. No issues at all. It runs 24/7, 365 basically. We unplug it on occasion if we need to get inside there to do chicken stuff, feed them, collect eggs, all that fun crap. But we use it to keep raccoons and possums mostly away from the chickens, and so far we haven't had any bad luck with it. Been doing a good job. So I wanted to kind of go over my thoughts with it, what I've liked about it. We're going to open it up, show the insides. If you want to find out more about us, go to our website, fencerfixer.com. And we also work on cattle scales and load bars, we're a repair place. We work on broken units for people that send them off to us for repair. We get most of the units that come into us are from the individuals. We get a few from farm stores, but I would say 80% what comes in here is from the individuals that own them. But this is a good little unit. I think we paid about $150, $140 for the thing, somewhere in that range. At the local feed store that sells Gallagher. We wanted the next size bigger, but they were out of them, so we bought this one. Okay, this is big enough. This should do the job. I was like, well, if it doesn't, we'll just take it back. They got a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If as long as you don't mishandle it too much, make it look like crap, you can take it back to the store, and then they'll just repackage it and put it back on the shelf. But no, it's done really good for us. We haven't had any bad luck at all with the thing. It's done a really good job. So yeah, this is a 2018 model is when it was manufactured. I think we bought it right around, well, we probably bought it around the first part of 2019, somewhere in that range. So we've had it, yeah, we're probably getting up close to 2 years. It'd probably be 2 years next spring. So we've had it a year and a half with it, but it's done real good for us. We haven't had any issues. Of course, we live in the Midwest, so we get storms galore, lightning storms, tornadoes, all that fun stuff. So we get all that crap here, and I'm always worried I'm going to walk out there and the thing's going to be dead. But all the storms that we've gotten, lightning hasn't affected it at all. So it's a pretty basic little unit. It has one little light on here that flashes green when you power it on. So I'm going to plug it in the wall, turn it on. So pretty quiet little unit. It's not real loud, which I don't know. Some people like them loud, so they can hear them working. But what's nice is you can walk by the green lights flash, you're doing good. What I like about it as well, compared to a couple other ones that we've had, was these knobs and bolts go on really, really well. I think they're stainless steel bolts. I think it's what they use on them, but they're machine screwed, so they don't cross thread at all. I've never had any problems cross threading them. They go on and off really well. There's no arcing involved, no arcing on there. On the bolts. Real good plastic case on it. It just feels durable. It doesn't feel cheap. It just feels like good quality. So we hardly ever, I don't think I've ever worked on this model. They've been around since about 2018, probably around the spring of 2018 when they came out with this model. And I don't think I've ever had one come in. So I'm sure Lightning gets them on occasion or whatever. But they got a 3-year warranty on it, so I still got about a year and a half left of my warranty on the thing. So being a repair guy, I'm going to take it apart. I don't know what size screw this takes. Okay, it's a tamper-proof Torx. Is what's inside holding this thing together, because it is UL listed. Kind of curious what the thing looks like. All right, well, that's the inside of it. Now, a little bit about Gallagher in general on their brand is they're a New Zealand-based company, been around since the late 30s. They've been here in the States since the early 70s, mid 70s. So they've been here in the United States for 40 plus years. But the Gallagher brand, they make about 80% of this unit is built by them. The boards are all built in-house. They make their own transformers. They make their own plastic cases. All that stuff. They don't make their own capacitors. They get those made by somebody. But all their capacitors are pulse grade capacitors made for electric fence units. They're all well made. I don't hardly ever see any overheating problems on these things. They've got good lightning protection built into them. They've got some protection stuff right here. You can see on there some little device there for protecting it from surges on the fence and ground side. They've got some stuff built on the board. They got a fuse on the board. Another thing I like about, like, if you compare them to SpeedRite, like a unit of this size range, their boards are encased in an epoxy. So they do them to waterproof them, I guess, what SpeedRite does. And what happens with those is they will overheat and go bad. I got a SpeedRite board here for you. No, I don't have a. Thought I might have a junk SpeedRite board sitting here. Let me see what. No, I don't have one to show you. But what happens with SpeedRite stuff is their boards are suffocated in a gel type epoxy, and that's to waterproof and protect the boards. But what happens with those ones over time is they corrode, or not they corrode, they get hot. The parts get hot, and all these components get black and discolored from heat and stress. Gallagher doesn't suffocate their boards in epoxy, but they do put a clear coating on top and bottom side of the board, a conformal coating, which protects the board from moisture. And you kind of see if I move the board unit around, kind of has a shimmer to it. That's because there's a clear coating on there. It's pretty thick. I mean, you can feel it on there, but it's not gel. It's a really hard conformal coating. That's to protect the board from moisture and stuff. But this is not a waterproof unit. You definitely want to keep this unit installed indoors, or like what we did, we put ours outside. We built a little box. I mean, you could build a little box, put it in. I put it on at least top and the sides, the bottom, if you need to leave it open. At least you can run your wires at the bottom of the case down here. So you could do something like that. Or what we did was where we mounted it, we just took a 5-gallon bucket, put it over there, because you can see it's not physically big, but the size of your hand, a little bit bigger. So it's not super big unit case size wise. But it's a good little unit. I'm really happy with it. I wish we could have gone the next size bigger, which is the M360, but the local co-op didn't have it in stock. So that's why we went this route. They make an M360, which is the next size bigger. Shares the same case as this one does, just a different different board or different capacitor or something in it. And then they make the M800, which is same case as this one, just different guts in it as well. But so we didn't need an M800. It was been overkill for what we were needing, but I figured M560 would have been all right, but because it wasn't too much money more, probably $40-50 for about double the power. So we figured, oh, let's go get that one, and they didn't have it in stock, so we bought this one. But I'm real happy with it. This is a good one. It gets my stamp of approval on quality. I mean, only time's gonna tell with it, but so far it still works really well. Pull the knobs off. I'll show you the voltage on the output. I might even see if I can get a chunk of wire. We'll do a little spark jump with it as well. So let me grab my fence tester here. I don't really have any quarrels about it. I mean, it's quiet. So if you don't like a quiet unit, then you might not like it. But if you look at the front, it's got a nice big light you can see plain as day. No matter which way you're looking at, you can always see it. flashing. Some brands that have those little lights on there, it's hard to see, but these lights you can see plain as day. You get 7,000 volts out of it, which voltage wise is fine. You know, you want a minimum of at least 3 to 4 on the fence. So if your fence is nice and clean, you're getting 7 out of it, you know that you're doing fine. So we're gonna take this piece of wire here, clip it here. I'm gonna get real close to the hot terminal, see what kind of spark it throws. It's got a nice spark to it. It's got we're a 1/8 of an inch away or so, but it's a nice bright spark. I mean, the distance is one thing, but the brightness of the actual spark is that's where you know you got plenty of current there to get the animal's attention. So it's got a nice hot shock. Like I said, I'd never had one of these come in for repair, but I guess if it ever did, we can definitely work on it. So if you got one of these M360s, I mean, if it's under warranty, you send it to Gallagher, let them fix it or replace it at no charge. If it's outside of warranty, we'll work on it for you, of course. But I like this unit. I mean, it's compact, it feels durable, it doesn't feel cheap, got good parts on the inside. We've had plenty of grass on the fence dragging it down. It hasn't missed a beat yet. It does drag down. We on average on our fence, we read about 7.3, 7.5 on our fence. If we get some grass on there, especially when it's in the morning hours when it's kind of dewy outside, the grass is a little tall on it, we might get 4 out of it. But as soon as the grass dries up some, it goes right back up to 6+. But I got to go out there about once every week or two and then weed whack underneath that bottom wire, get all that grass off, and then of course it jumps right back up to 7 or higher. But it hasn't missed a beat yet. It just keeps on ticking right along. So if you want a good unit, I definitely look at the Gallagher brand in general. This is not a big joule unit, 3.6 stored, probably 2.5, 3 output, I would say. I don't know. Gallagher rates their units in stored joules, but it is a 5-watt unit, so it doesn't have hardly any draw on your outlet stuff. So it only has 5 watts of draw on there. So it's like running a light bulb in your house if it's a 5-watt bulb, and this thing's plugged in all the time, but it doesn't take a lot of power to create a lot of power on these things. But hopefully that helps you out, get you some good information on a good charger. If you got any other questions or something, give us a caller. We work on all brands, all ages of electric fence boxes. We do some how-to videos, some show and tell videos, kind of like what this one is, some review videos like this, and all sorts of things. I've got 440 some videos or whatever it is on YouTube. So if there's a brand or model out there, if you do a YouTube search, there's probably at least one, if not more than one video of that particular unit out there. But in the meantime, we'll see you later, and go buy yourself a good Gallagher unit.